Hello everyone, my name is Cipriano Gonzia and I would like to show you where my studio is today. So my studio is located right outside of Florence in Tuscany. It's a very small town and it's quite nice, close to everything. And the space I have for the shop is about 4 by 4 meters, which is roughly about the same size I had in Florida. This is my radial arm saw that I got about 3 years ago. Its station is built basically very similar to the one that I had in the US, with the exception of the fence was modified. I created more channels and everything is nested in, so the dust collection takes away all the dust, and it is really powerful. And I love it for crust cuts. And then right over to the left, as soon as you walk in, is basically my computer desk, which also acts as a wing, extension wing for my crosscut station. I have a hot plate, make some coffee, and it's like a standing desk, so it's ready to go. Conveniently above my saw station, I have a lot of nests with handheld power tools and a lot of convenience when it comes to grabbing and going. Similar to the US one, the radial arm saw station has a lot of drawers underneath. This is a great advantage to keep a lot of storage. I have a lot of wrenches in these first few drawers, pliers and screwdrivers, hardware, art supplies, paper, odd bits and pieces, casters and whatnot, and less used handheld power tools. I like to keep in handy my marking pencils. Right next to the radial arm saw station, I have the drill press, the floor standing model, with a cabinet that holds a lot of my drill bits, a lot of hardware on the wall, very conveniently, and a switch to turn on the shop vac that I have in another room. That way I can kind of like muffle the sounds. A very long hose that I could go to any tool and vacuum. This is the workbench that I built during the COVID time. It served me very well. I like it a lot. It's just the right size, right weight. It's a Rubo style. Then above I have the tool wall where I like to keep a lot of odd pieces, a lot of hand saws and things that I tend to use the most, and I don't like them in drawers. Having said that, inside I keep my chisels on one drawer and rasps, a lot of the carving chisels as well. Right underneath I have my hand planes, bench planes, and an odd drawer with a lot of my power carving and water stones. Right in the corner of the shop, opposite to the door when you enter, is where I have my dust collector. This is a modified unit. I built the dust cyclone and it works really well. I have a drum that collects all of the bigger dust, and all the duct is done with 4-inch pipes. It's basically some of the same stuff that I used in US. When I built the dust collector modification, and I tried to come up with a way in order to like save space but not waste all of the space that I created with this nest, is where I store my clamps. And right next to it I have a cabinet where the sand paper and a lot of sanding accessories. Also, right next to the bench, I keep my orbital sander. Have a transformer for my scroll saw. Speaking of the scroll saw, this is the Delta one that I had in the US, and I had it shipped over, and now along with the transformer, it works really, really well. I have it on a stand that I tend to sit down and is really comfortable to work with. Again on wheels, right next to the scroll saw, but it can easily be taken out. I have the spindle sander, it's also edge sander. To store wood, very, very small wood pieces, odd parts that I might need for some of my sculpture projects or sometimes even my woodworking inlays and whatnot. Now, moving right along, this is where I have the table saw, which is to the far right center of the shop. It is a European style hybrid saw. I've had it for more than 7 years, and even though it's slightly underpowered than a 3 horsepower cabinet saw, it's plenty for everything that I needed to do. I like the fact it has this sliding attachment. It's really nice. And right around it, I built this dust arm, which is very similar to the US one with a dust port, of course. I hook my dust collector all the time. Nested in, I have a lot of the tools I need to change my blades. I keep a lot of my push sticks and small crosscut sled. Also feather boards and whatnot. Some jigs that I like to use for the saw I have up here. And right underneath the table saw, at arm's reach, is where I keep a small router table. Lately, I have not had the use to have a big router table, the one that I had in the US, but this one is plenty, and when I need it, I have it right over there. When you look above the dust collector is where you start to see a lot of the wood storage happen. I have a lot of shelves up there and wood racks that pretty much go along the perimeter of the shop. Having it up so high and being able to do it because of the ceiling height makes it very convenient to store a lot of odd parts and save a lot of space and keep everything clean downstairs. Right behind the table saw is where I keep a lot of my woodworking books, and I have some magazines and also the camera gear. Under the case, I keep a lot of jigs, some table saw accessories as well. I have a field easel ready to go, whether I'm painting here or outside. Right next to the case is where I have my track saw tracks. And I have a very light aluminum ladder that I use to get around everywhere, basically. On the right hand side, as soon as you walk in, this is the bandsaw, the ACM bandsaw that I restored a few years ago. It's a beast, very powerful, and I do a lot of resawing with it. I do a lot of curve work, good for a lot of my sculpture pieces as well. It's definitely an asset of the shop. I have plywood stored, and I use the bandsaw, since it's so heavy, to anchor it. And basically, when I have full sheets, I just put them in, and it's just a good place to store all the plywoods that is full sheet. This is the entrance door to the shop. And it's also an easel. I often hang my paintings not only to dry, but sometimes to paint. I do have the easel that is standalone, but sometimes coming here and painting directly is definitely convenient. Living in Italy for the past 7 years has been a rewarding experience. Although not without challenges, it is something I wouldn't trade in if I could. In thinking that, I've always wanted to come back to a complete version of my expression. I didn't want to limit the way I realize my art, and that is why operating out of this atelier, some ideas become paintings, others sculptures, and some furniture. I hope that everybody listening to this will get inspiration to always be authentic, knowing that there is value in it for the right public.